I work as a travel research analyst, and I earn 300,000 naira per month, and I'm proving a fund of 50 million naira. How long have I lived? No, to be very honest, how long have I lived? Where did I see 50 million naira? In fact, how long have I worked? Is it immediately they gave birth to me, I became the travel research analyst, that I started earning that amount? So they need to understand where that money is coming from. Which is why proof of fund, as simple as it is very complex. You need letters to show that, oh, this is what I do. Aside being the travel research analyst, I also own a business on the side. This is what my business is yielding me. And these things, you do not just say it. You do not just type it. You have to have supporting documents.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Your Travel Padi Podcast, brought to you by Gigs Media, a subsidiary of our mother company, Gigs Travels. In the studio with us, we still have Mr. Testimonial Alade.
Yeah,
Thank you for sitting still.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm enjoying. I'm feeling at home. It's home, actually.
But anyway, we had a lot to talk about previously, and we'll just pick it up from where we stopped. The last time we talked about IETS and things like that. Now, let's talk about proof of funds and everything surrounding it. So I feel like this is a very, very important part that people often miss, because when it comes to where you are trying to, follow the money, there's a lot of issues that come with it. So what issues have arisen with you when you are, putting together the documentation?
Okay, proof of fund is a very, very vital document when, especially for travel process, whether it is study, whether it is visits, whether it is work. As long as you're traveling, you have to prove to the consular that you have sufficient fund. Yeah, now the word sufficient fund, a lot of people misunderstand it. Now, let's cite another case study. Now, I'm going to the United States of America.
Yes.
My tuition fee is, let's say, 24,000 US dollar. Now, to prove that I have sufficient fund for United States of America, that particular $24,000, I have to first of all have a fund that shows $24,000,
Yes.
that shows a living expenses of, let's say, another $15,000, and shows another miscellaneous of, let's say, $10,000. For me, I am not talking about dependents now. I'm talking about me personally. So
Yes.
truly, your school fees, your tuition fee is $24,000, but for your proof of fund to be acceptable or to be seen as sufficient, you have to have nothing less than, let's say, 50,000 US dollar in that account.
Wow.
To prove that you have sufficient funds.
So is this dependent of country, or you feel like generally if you have that amount?
Now that's what I
you
said.
can go to any country?
I cited an example for United States of
United States of
America.
America,
Now.
yeah.
So now for Canada, it's the same thing too.
Okay.
Now let's point something out. When a consular is saying sufficient amount, your proof of fund should show that you have sufficient amount. Sufficient amount should be tuition fee for students, coupled with living expenses, coupled with miscellaneous fee and the likes. So you cannot just say because my tuition fee is $24,000, by the time I'm proving $25,000, I should be good to go. No, you are not good to go. Because they believe that so by the end of the day, when you pay your $24,000 tuition fee, how do you want to survive? What do you want to be eating? Where do you want to be sleeping? Those things are into consideration. But when you are proving a 50,000 proof of fund for a 24,000 course, they'll be like, oh, this person has money. This person has this person would be able to survive in the economy. Yeah, and one challenge there now is a lot of people feel like by the time I'm proving that I have so much money, will I still be eligible for scholarship? Yes, you will be eligible. United States of America, there are, let me say, most of these countries, the diaspora, in as much as we know that, yes, they need your money, they need your the money we are bringing in is part of what they used to develop their countries and the likes. At the end of the day, still and still, they are considerate people.
Yes.
They are considerate because for an international student paying 24,000 US dollar, trust me, their own local student pays like maybe 8,000 to 10,000 US dollar. So at the end of the day, there are grants like you might be eligible for grants of 3,000. There are eligibility of let's say um performance-based eligibility. That's when you're doing well in school and the like. So it doesn't concern the amount you have in your proof of fund or whether or not you show it. So all you need to do is to make sure that this amount that I am proving, is it sufficient enough for the course I am proving it for? Now the course is I am going to study. Now this amount differs again. I am going to study personally is different from I am going to study and I'm going with my dependent. So now your dependent, now you have to prove your proof of fund must show that you can pay for your school fees,
Yes.
your living expenses,
Yes.
miscellaneous, and for your dependents'
Wow.
well-being. Yes.
So a question is that, so does that mean that if you have 3 dependents, then each must have their own proof of fund, must have a proof of fund for each one? Is that what you are trying to
It
say?
doesn't have to be separate.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be separate. You can use the same proof of fund, but the amounts would differ.
Okay.
Now let's speak Naira. Let's speak Nigeria. Now, I am going to the United States of America,
Yes.
and after my rough deductions, my school fees for a year would be, let's say, 20 million naira,
Yes.
give or take 20 million naira. So now, for me to pay a school fees of 20 million naira, my living expenses for that year should be another, let's say, 10 to 15 million naira. That's 35 million naira. So miscellaneous, I should have like maybe another 15 million. So
Yes.
if I want to prove my fund, I should have at least 50 million naira in my account. That is because I'm the only one going. So now let's say I am married and I want to go with my spouse and a kid, or let's say just my spouse now. With that my 50 million, I should add another 20 million naira. That shows that I can cater for the well-being of my spouse.
Why you are at it?
Yes. While I am in the country, I have to show that I can cater for my spouse. It's not the one that I am doing well. My spouse will now become a nuisance or a burden on the country's government, either United States or either Canada. So you have to show that you have sufficient funding for your process. So that is the.
Thank you for that. Another question I have to ask you, still around proof of fund, is the issues surrounding, gifting, for instance. So people are often like, oh, I have one uncle that wants to sponsor me, things like that. A distant uncle, he sent the money to my account, and now I submitted it and it was rejected, that kind of thing. So in that situation, that's also a complexity I feel people often make, because I think I've seen it somewhere before. How do you think like issues surrounding that, like you have maybe a paternal grand uncle or something send you, wants to sponsor you? So how do that work?
Okay, yeah. So it's like you said, it is a complexity. Yeah, trust me. And many a times it still boils down to when I say use correct travel agency, use people that are experienced, use people that know the intricacies in these matters, use people that are experienced. Again, that experience is the key. Now, for you to say you have a distant uncle that wants to sponsor you, your uncle do not necessarily need to transfer the money to your account.
Okay.
Because there is no way to prove that he's your uncle or whatever. Now your uncle wants to sponsor you. There are things called letter of sponsorship. There are manners of, there are ways in which you write these letters. There are ways your uncle would say, I am writing to show that I am supporting my nephew with so amount of funds for his study in this in whichever country it is. And you can even say is this amount that I'm providing, or I'm supporting him with, would cover his living expenses, or is just to help him to relieve the burden of living expenses or feeding expenses or whatsoever. But a lot of people just feel like maybe the money is there. The money is there does not cut it. They need to know how the money got there. And to be very honest, if you ask me, I feel like the reason for this is because of what past experience of the travel consular. Most people's funds are not genuine. They are not traceable. The money just comes there, and the consulars will be like, what are you doing? Okay, now, for instance, I work as a travel research analyst, and I earn 300,000 naira per month and 300,000 naira per month, and I'm proving a fund of 50 million naira. How long have I lived? No, to be very honest, how long have I lived? Where did I see 50 million naira? In fact, how long have I worked? Is it immediately they gave birth to me, I became the travel research analyst,
Yeah.
that I started earning that amount? So they need to understand where that money is coming from. Which is why proof of fund, as simple as it is very complex.
Yeah.
You need letters to show that, oh, this is what I do. Aside being the travel research analyst, I also own a business on the side. This is what my business is yielding me. And these things, you do not just say it. You do not just
You can prove
type
it.
it. You have to have supporting documents.
Hmm.
A lot of people do not know this thing. Submitting a proof of funds without proof of funds come with its own supporting documents.
Yes.
Supporting documents could be letter from the bank, it could be letter from the sponsor,
It could be your
it
land,
could
your
be
land document.
it could be documents that shows that you have a cocoa farm somewhere that is yielding you money.
Yes.
That way your proof of funds become genuine. It becomes traceable. It becomes authentic. Unlike just saying because the money is there, you want to prove it. They will question you. They'll question you, especially it depends on what you've written as your itinerary. It depends on what you've presented yourself as. You cannot tell me that you are earning let's say 400,000 naira and you already have 50 million naira like saved. First of all, are you not spending money at all in Nigeria? Are you not
Of
spending
course.
money? Are you not eating? Like how are you doing it? How do you have 50 million? So you have to have a supporting document that explains how 50 million became 15 million. So if it is a sponsor, your uncle that is sponsoring you, you understand, you have to write it that, oh, your uncle, not you, your uncle has to write that, oh, I am sponsoring my nephew for his this, I'm sponsoring him with so amount, I've transferred it to his account. Or if your uncle has not transferred it, he can say it is in my account. He will provide them his own account. So for a travel process, you can use more than one proof of fund.
Yes.
You can use more than one proof of fund. So I can say I have personal funds somewhere now and I want to travel out for my studies, and my dad can say he wants to be my sponsor. So he has to write a letter saying that I want to sponsor my son. So now my dad being my sponsor has to explain how he got that huge sum of money in his own account too. I have been working so years. I have a retirement plan of so. I have a business that is yielding me so. So you have to explain all these things. These things are supporting documents, but a lot of people do not understand. They just say, please, I want to do proof of fund, though. Or please, how do you guys do? They don't understand the complexities in these things.
And there's even more that goes into it than even what
Exactly.
you've said.
There are more than meets the eyes.
Yeah.
Proof of funds is not just I have this thing.
Statement
What's the
of account.
percentage?
Yeah.
It's way deeper than that. It is way deeper than that. And the earlier people start understanding these things, the better it is. And one thing my boss would say, when you approach my boss that, please, can you do proof of fund for me? And you are saying, how long will it take? And he's telling you to take this, and you are telling him that you want it rush. He will tell you, we don't do fake here. We do authentic. We do something that is traceable, something that is authentic, something that would not flop. So you have in as much as a lot of people want to travel out and the likes, you have to, it's a process. Me that want to travel out, for someone like me now, if I want to travel out, I have personal funds. I have sponsorship funds that are traceable, that are verifiable. That's what traceable and verifiable is
Very
key.
important.
Very important.
So one other thing I just feel like I would like you to maybe advise people on it. Just because I feel like the subject of proof of funds is very wide. There are so many intricacies surrounding it and things like that. So I have a cousin who traveled very recently, and he said getting to the boarding gate where he wanted to pass, they said you should bring out his phone. They wanted to ensure that he had the funds in it. So what advice would you give people in terms of that, ensure that you always have access to that funds regardless?
Okay. So like I said, proof of funds is very complex, to be very honest.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And one problem with many Nigerians is we do not like spending money. We do not like investing in things. See, once you start a process, make sure you see it
So go
to the end. Don't be in a rush to say, I've gotten my work permit, I've gotten
Okay, where's
my
the
visa
money?
approved, I don't need the money again. I don't. You will just find yourself in a mess. Effort of years, effort that took you months
Hmm.
to gather can get destroyed if you encounter one stubborn officer, one
Hmm.
stubborn immigration officer, one because these people now, let me say this here now. Most of these people in these countries that works as immigration officers and the likes, they do not like foreigners coming into their countries. Let's be honest, because they know that as a foreigner, you are coming with expectations, you
Yeah,
are coming with
to share the
mad ginger.
resources.
You're coming to hustle. Now you're coming to take the opportunities that they are managing. So they will always look for ways to discredit you. All you need to do is to make sure that you are
Like genuine.
creditable, that you are genuine. So make sure you see it through to the end. Don't say because I've gotten this, I want to relent. No, till you get to that country. In fact, even after you've gotten to that country, if it is possible, 1 month, 2 months, make sure your proof of funds is still intact. Make sure it is still traceable and verifiable.
All right, thank you for that. I feel like we can't touch on the
Ah,
subject
no,
based
we
on
we
that
we, we
finish.
can't.
So
Looking to relocate, study, or explore the world at ease? At Gladwill Integrated Global Services, we specialize in international travel education, visa processing, legal advisories to destinations like Canada, USA, UK, Europe, and across Africa. From leisure vacations to corporate tours, Gigs Travels offers tailored travel experiences that suit your needs.
So let's go on to talking about transcripts. For instance, I feel we
Mm,
never touched that. And one issue that people often say is that the timing it takes schools, for instance, to send, your transcript. Sometimes, you have to send it to the school.
that's
And then
true.
sometimes people are like, but I can use the student copy and just send it. It's the same thing that is written in it, minus the stamp. So what can you say about, transcript and just like that?
Well, to be very honest, that's transcript matter. We I have had webinars on this topic on Facebook, and it's something that it's endless.
Yeah.
Many students need to understand that these things are important, whether or not you want to even travel. Once you are done with school, we know that your certificates and your transcripts do not get issued immediately.
Yeah.
But after you've given it 1 year, 2 years, please request for these things. They come in handy. Now, it's a different case when you know that it is official transcript that is delaying you. Some people, it is that student copy that they do not have.
Wow.
Yes, trust me. We've done applications that you hear someone saying, I don't have student copy. So they'll now stress us to start looking for schools that do not accept transcripts except official transcripts.
Hmm.
Because now already it is too late. They did not collect the student's copy when they are supposed to collect. And we all know we are in Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria is money. When you are supposed to collect something 2 years ago, you are waiting
You're
after
continuing
four
now.
years. You are supposed to pay 20,000 naira then. They will tell you 100,000. Now, you start thinking that, I'll first use 100K to collect unofficial copy. Then
Then
when
I'll
it
still
now
use another to
gets
collect
to
official
when I
copy
want to
again.
collect, when I want to send official copy to the school, I'll be using another 150,000 naira. So
Yeah.
they will not feel like it's too much. But when already you have that's your student's copy, that's your unofficial copy, you know that it is official copy, and that official copy in most cases it is not for admission case. In fact, we've done various applications that they did not require that official copy. So most of these schools do not require your official transcripts until you've been given admission. They call these admissions conditional admissions.
Okay.
Yeah, so the condition there is to have your school send in the official transcripts, then the condition leaves. So now from conditional admission, it becomes a full admission. So most of these schools do not require the official transcript until that stage. So now the my own advice or my plea is for people to have these documents handy. Have these documents handy. Um Recently I wanted to do something on a portal, and they asked me for some documents, and it was easy for me. I had them in one
Folder.
in a folder on my mail. So anywhere I am in the world, as long as I have access to that my email, I have access to all my documents. These things are very simple things. Imagine being in Ukraine or in South Africa. You're now saying they need something or one of your documents. You're now saying you now
You
start
have to
calling no
call, yeah.
that please help me snap it, help me. No, we are in a digital era. We need to do better than these things.
Should have all those things organized.
Yes, we should have them. We should have them. These things are, yes, they are very simple things. So now, speaking of official transcripts, now
Yes.
the official transcript is very, very important. Most schools require it. Most schools do not require it. We've done applications. In fact, most countries do not require it. They believe that as long as you are posting, as long as you have the student copy certificate, student copy transcript, then you are good to go. And but for some schools that need it, they just want to be sure. The only reason why most of these schools would require your official transcript is to compare, to be sure that what you are presenting to them is the same thing. That's just the only reason. So now imagine you forging documents and the person that is doing it for you did not do it well. That is why you need genuine documents. You need genuine documents. You need to have documents that you yourself you can beat your chest on and say, this is my document, this is my result. Not documents that you'll be trembling when they open your file folder and you'll be like, hey, what would they ask me? Or what would they ask me? I don't know if you can relate. You know, or maybe you are sitting for an exam and they give you area of concentration.
Yes.
And it's wise to read through everything, but some people will just read the area of concentration and will be like, Shebi is AOC now, is AOC. And at the end of the day, when you see the question, you'll be shocked that this will pass AOC. So at the end of the day, just know what you are doing. Just be sure, like make sure your documentations are something you can beat your chest.
Yes.
Be sure of their genuineness. Be sure of how genuine they are. These things are not costly when you do them at the right time. Yes, you can quote that. These things are not costly when you do them at the right time. If you request for your certificate and transcript, now I left University of Abuja 2015. Now imagine I do not have my transcripts, my student copy transcripts and my certificates now, and I am calling my school for that. They would calculate years. They'll say it was supposed to be 20K then. They'll now say 20K each year. So now 2010 to 2025, you know how many 20Ks I would have paid. Like, so, but doing it at the right time would reduce the cost.
Yes.
Yes, it's still the same thing as saying traveling at the right time will reduce the cost. I had friends that traveled out 2, 3, 4 years ago. They are chilling. Yes, you understand. And now traveling every day is becoming more and more expensive. So this is my own call to action. I know we've not gotten there yet, but if you are there, you are listening to me at the moment and you've been thinking about traveling, you've been thinking about Japan, now is the right time. Because if you do it in 2, 3 years time, it will become more expensive. Use Geeks Travels. We know these things. We know how to do these things. So now is your time. Don't delay.
So before we've never ended up yet.
No, I need to tell them these things. I need to tell them these things.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, I feel people don't understand the importance of SOP. You understand? People just feel like it's an essay, like, oh, Jimmy just to write what I want to do that as well. So for you personally, being a research analyst, how important is your SOP, your statement of purpose?
How important is your SOP? In fact, I can just say your SOP is your application. Your SOP is the summary of your being. It is your SOP that would explain your documents. It's your SOP that will tell them that this is who testimony is. Testimony went to this secondary school. After this secondary school, testimony went to this university. After his time in the university, there are some things that your CV would not show, that your statement of purpose will show. There are some things that your degree certificate will not show. Your degree certificate will just say BSc microbiology. It is your statement of purpose that you tell them that although I did microbiology, yes, by the way, I am a microbiology graduate from University of Abuja, and today I'm a travel research analyst. If you look at it, it doesn't relate. Now, it is my statement of purpose that will tell them that although I was a microbiology, or I am a microbiology graduate, microbiology and research too relates in the sense that as a microbiologist, we research, we but our own research is always soil, microorganisms, and the likes. You understand? But that's depth, that passion of research is what pushed
Led you.
prompted
Yeah.
me to become a research analyst. So it is still relating. So it is my statement of purpose that will tell them now that although I finished as now let's paint a scenario now. I am a travel research analyst with a degree certificate as a
Yes.
microbiologist, and now I want to do my MSc as a data analyst. I have to paint my SOP would paint a photo, a picture. We tell a storyline how, although I did microbiology, what I have been doing as the travel research analyst is analyzing data, analyzing content, analyzing trends, analyzing foods, which is why I want to further my study as a data analyst. It will show that my statement of purpose will show that because I have these experiences as a
Yes.
travel research analyst, I can do well as a data analyst. So your statement of purpose is like the summary. It is what brings the whole
The whole picture
application
together.
together as one. It is what makes it make sense. Because if your SOP is not telling the right story, in fact, most of these consulars, they just need to read, okay, who is this person? They read your SOP. Now, it is your SOP that will now lead them to, okay, let me confirm these things. Okay, they might not even view all your document. Oh, he said he has BSc in microbiology. Okay, let's see, let's come. Okay, oh, okay, there's a document that is showing that he has BSc in microbiology. Oh, he said he worked as a travel research analyst. Let's see, I have my CV there stating that I work as a travel research analyst. I have my payslip there stating that I work so this your SOP is what tells the story, is the summary of everything. So it is your SOP that gives the consular an idea of who you are
What you
and
are trying
what
to
you
do.
are trying to do.
Man, thank you so much. I mean, you said a lot today, like a lot. But before we round up, so everything we do, encompasses together. You do hope that the government, show some support and make things maybe easy in some way. So, according to you, do you have any way you feel like maybe the government could, also come in and maybe assist, people, applicants in something that makes it easier, that even um as a travel consultant, it also reflects and make it easy for you also to help people achieve their travel goals.
Well, when you talk about the government, I just want to assume that it's the Nigerian
Yeah, the
government you're talking.
Nigerian government.
So now, first of all, to be very honest, Nigeria is a blessed land, like we all know. There are vast opportunities in Nigeria. Yeah, I tell people that my friends will ask me that, guy, we know you've traveled to various African countries before, but why have you not left Nigeria? Go now. Why are you still here? You to go, Jackpa. What's in Nigeria for you? I have this mindset that although I do not have that satisfaction, but I believe Nigeria will be better. And so here is my plea to the Nigerian government. Please make things easier. Nigerian youth are not lazy. There was a point in time when I don't know the president that said, they said Nigerian youth are lazy. Nigerian youth are not lazy. It is the economy of Nigeria that is allowing Nigerian youth look like lazy people. We stay in Lagos, in this part of Lagos, Nigeria that we stay in. If you wake up 3 a.m., you will see cars on the road. If you wake up 4 a.m., you see cars. And most of these people are Nigerian youth. So my plea for the government is create opportunities. The same work that we are going outside here to do, it's available here. And another thing is minimum wage. When you listen to the minimum wage of some countries, even you will be like, what am I still doing in Nigeria? When you hear the minimum, they don't even call it, it's minimum wage here. When you hear the hourly rate at which some of these people pay their workers in these countries, you'll be like, what am I doing in Nigeria? Somebody would make your 1 month salary in 3 hours. It happens like that. So we understand that Nigeria is not as grown. Most of these countries, the United States, the UK, they are 200 and something years. They are this. Nigeria is just 60 something years, if I'm correct. You understand? So we understand that we are growing, but at the end of the day, the government can do a lot. We have talented youth.
Yes.
We see Nigerians living Nigeria, going abroad and doing exploits that even the diasporas, the white people, they do not want to let go because of the hidden gems in Nigeria. So I just want to plead the indulgence of the government to please invest in Nigerians, invest in us. We are amazing intellectuals. Don't they said you don't know the value of what you have until you lose it. Don't lose all the youth in Nigeria before you realize that Nigerian youths are not lazy.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Thank you so much, Testimony. You've had a lot to say, and I feel like if we go on, we could have, the whole day. There's so many other things for
So
us to
many
talk
things
about,
to talk
but
about.
we'll talk about those other things in other episodes that we have.
Yeah.
And please don't forget to, like, subscribe, and, share with your friends this episode and every other episode if you've not seen any one of them. And this is still the Travel Padi Podcast, brought to you by Gigs Media. And of course, if you need anything travel related, your visa applications, you would like to, see the face of Mr. Testimony, reach out to us, on our Instagram, or, share the description also. And don't forget to, follow us also. We'd like to hear from you. And for the final say, I'll leave it to you, Testimony, to tell the audience something and why they should come and work with you also.
Okay, so my own what I would like to say is, for those that do not know, our tagline at Geeks Travels is "Your adventure starts here." Are you sure you want to adventure? Just come today. Our doors are wide open every day. We are open Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we have WhatsApp lines, we have the email channels, we have all our social media channels available for your inquiries. Yes, and again, I know we've talked about a lot of things today, and there are some people that we've not yet answered their questions. We book consultation service at Geeks Travels. We answer you. We give you the time. You have the opportunity to speak your mind and express yourself to us. So why not book your consultation today and start your adventure? We are here for you anytime, any day.
All right, guys. Thank you. And that is it from us. Catch you on the next one.